Sports Professor Rick Horrow inside the $1.3 trillion business of sports, and you are on the record. A unique podcast, at least I hope so, that talks about the past 50 years, COVID, and the next 50 years of the sports business, where it's been, what the challenges were, and where it's going. Every week, we will theme it around major events and a mega interview, and hopefully you'll be entertained and you might even learn something. Sports Professor Rick Horrow, and you're on the record. Sports Professor Rick Horrow, inside the $1.3 trillion business of sports, and you're on the record. Happy after Thanksgiving, everybody. Hopefully you've recovered from an incredible week of football and incredible week of giving thanks and heading into the Christmas holiday. The normal on the record and opening drive and then the 5 to watch it, that'll come. But we thought it was important enough to pay tribute to an outstanding team of mayors and also at the same time award the first annual Mayor's Sports Legacy Award in Las Vegas to Mayors Oscar and Carolyn Goodman. 25 years of continuous service. Gambling originally, economic development late, sports as a linchpin. Bring in the Golden Knights to Vegas. That's Oscar and Carolyn's stewardship. Then the Raiders, then Formula One, then major NBA events, other significant events, and now baseball. The bottom line is thousands of jobs are owed to the sports field, and Oscar and Carolyn acknowledge the heavy lifting. We, as part of this group, awarded the Mayor's first Sports Legacy Award on behalf of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I've been honored to be involved in their sports groups for a number of years and created the award. Tom Cochran, the executive director, Tom McClyman, involved in the sports piece of this, and also Sean Garrity and Circle as part of the production team. At the end of the day, this is a unique award that will happen every year, and it couldn't have come with a better premier award in Vegas because of all of the events and because of Oscar and Carolyn's sustained leadership over time. Event held last week at City Hall in Las Vegas right before Thanksgiving, and a special guest presentation by Gary Bettman, a video tribute, since remember, after all, Oscar was the one that worked with Gary with the Golden Knights, 2016 and beyond, and now a tribute, a fitting legacy to Vegas, to the NHL, to sports, to the U.S. Conference of Mayors, an organization where if you have a city of over 30,000 population, you will be involved, and it's done amazing things to promote sports, economic development, education, all the things that mayors need to deal with in a significantly turbulent time we call this period of time. At the end of the day, it's a tremendous organization and a great presentation last week. Honored to be part of it. Here it is now.
Good afternoon, everyone. We were great. I'm Tom Cochran. I'm the CEO and Executive Director of the United States, the one and only United States Conference of Mayors in Washington, D.C. We regret very much that we can't be with Oscar and Carolyn today, and we aren't there in person to present to you our first ever Mayor's Sports Legacy Award. This award is both of you certainly deserve. I recall many times talking to Oscar in the early days, trying to get sports to Las Vegas. It's happening. It's happened. And we want to thank also Sean Garrity and his team from Circle Productions for delivering this award today. To kick this short ceremony off, I'm going to ask Rick Horrow, one of the best sports journalists in the nation, and one of our judges, to say a few words about sports in Las Vegas and to introduce a special video.
Tom, really appreciate it, and thank you all for attending. My name is Rick Horrow. I've had the honor of being involved with the U.S. Conference of Mayors for many years and appreciate their legacy and seminal work. The sports entertainment business, folks, has grown into a $1.3 trillion industry over the past decades, and as importantly, sport has the power to change the world. It's only true if a city intentionally organizes itself to do so. And just as sports can change a city can also change sports. In many ways, sports are a reflection of society. And as sports have shifted economically, politically, socially, technologically, professionally, and even personality-wise over time, so has society. And as cities build sports and sports industry into their fabric, it very much influences the vibrancy and personality of the city and the culture of the sport. Just as sport was a major factor in the economic and social revival in the 1920s, 100 years ago, after the Spanish flu pandemic, enlightened communities have used sports as an economic post-recovery tool, more important than ever. U.S. Conference of Mayors, folks, has had a significant history of supporting the sports industry through its awareness, thought leadership, and national vision. The Mayor Sports Legacy Award has been created to annually honor those communities and its leaders who deserve special attention. Criteria, by the way, evolves from the breakthrough moments crafted by Professors Edersham and New York University Professor Lee Eagle at the School of Professional Studies, first appeared in my book, The Sport Business Handbook, Insights from 100 Leaders Who Shaped 50 Years of the Industry. Briefly, the selection criteria for this year and every other follows: long-term sports vision integrated with the city's identity and culture, implementation plan that translates that vision into reality with resources, capital, and community and youth engagement, inspirational collaboration between citizens, businesses, government, and social organizations, and longevity and legacy that extends beyond the mayor's term in office. Las Vegas and the Goodmans are the absolute positive, perfect fit for the annual award. Let's remember the teams, facilities, and major events have generated over 26,000 sports-specific jobs beyond just facility construction. Sports is an integral part of the $4 billion of annual economic activity in the Las Vegas region. 136% increase in population over the last 20 years, partially created and caused by sports, and it's transformed the community from a community
come out here a minute. William.
Driven by sports as a transformational entity, sports including football, mega events, Grand Prix, obviously a lot of other events, NBA, exhibition games, etc. In fact, though, Vegas, the Golden Knights, June 22nd, 2016, the NHL Expansion Committee awarded an NHL expansion franchise in 2017 and the rest is history. And Gary Bettman, the commissioner, the longest standing commissioner in the history of the NHL, who took office February 1, 1993, I think we'd all agree that the 2016 ratification of Vegas was one of his crowning achievements. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce Gary Bettman today with some comments for the Goodmans. Gary, take it away.
Carolyn and Oscar, congratulations on being named the first recipients of the annual Mayor's Legacy Award. Talk about a power couple. You have to go back to 1999, before the turn of the century, and in my early days as commissioner of the NHL, to remember a Las Vegas that did not have a Goodman as its mayor. And in the 25 years, that's 6 mayoral terms, since, your leadership has provided the vision and drive that has witnessed the explosive growth and transformation of Las Vegas. So much about Las Vegas is bigger and better than it was before Oscar won his first election in 1999. And what could be better than a major league city with major league sports? There have been no greater or more tireless champions of bringing pro sports to Las Vegas than the Goodmans. And the NHL is proud to have partnered with you and another visionary, Bill Foley, to become the first major pro sports league to make that dream come true. It's almost impossible to capture just how successful and impactful the Vegas Golden Knights franchise has been, not just for hockey or the NHL, but for the greater Las Vegas community. We are flattered that other sports have followed our lead, but we were merely following the Goodman lead. As everyone knows, Oscar and Carolyn's leadership and accomplishments since they made their home in Las Vegas 60 years ago are numerous and remarkable. None, however, are more noteworthy than this. Now going on 62 years of marriage, you have raised 4 accomplished children and now dote on 6 beautiful grandchildren. Yours is a truly outstanding partnership. The U.S. Council of Mayors could not have chosen more worthy inaugural recipients of their Mayor's Legacy Award. I congratulate you, and I'm honored to have gotten to know you and work with you to bring the NHL to Las Vegas.
Thank you, Gary Bettman. And to continue the presentation, back to Tom.
And also what they meant to the nation's mayors, what they meant to the conference mayors, and what they meant to me personally in my, believe it or not, 55 years with this organization. 25 years ago, I was sitting in my office and someone said to me, Mr. Goodman is here. And in walked Oscar and Carolyn Goodman and sat in front of me and started talking to me. And I realized that Oscar had been elected the mayor of Las Vegas. And I knew then that, I knew then that Las Vegas is going to be more on the map. I knew then that Las Vegas was going to be more about the nation. I knew then that Las Vegas was going to be, his vision told me something was going to be transformed. And so we have witnessed changes due to the leadership of these 2 outstanding American mayors. The Smith Performing Center, the Cleveland Brain Clinic, the Fremont Street development. And I remember when they said, oh no, we can't bring sports to Las Vegas, gambling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that how Oscar was so frustrated at times when they said you couldn't bring sports to Las Vegas. And look what's happened. That's what this award is all about. These 2 mayors hosted 2 annual meetings of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And because of her creation of the school in Las Vegas, she carried that into a national discussion on education and chaired for many years our Mayor's Business Council. When Rich Daley was elected, that's Rich Jr., he said to me, where's the business community? And so Oscar was a part of forming that, and then Carolyn ran it later. But above all, they've been family. They've been family to mayors, and mayors are family. We can have all these turbulences politically in the nation's capital and around the nation, but when mayors get together, they are family. They talk to each other and they learn from each other. And we've learned so much from these 2 individuals. And also, let me say, I'm so proud of the fact that they have brought me and my staff into their life. When I witnessed never before in the world have 2 spouses run a major city in conjunction with each other. And Tom McClyman and others, we were there. We witnessed the actual swearing in. Oscar swearing Carolyn. I went to the office and I saw the Goodmans were left, but they changed the first names, painted it on the door, and then later we went to dinner. And it's just a beautiful experience. And as Oscar mentioned, a lot of times I would bring my family there, and we went to and bring my grandkids out. And I think Carolyn won an award with egg salad sandwiches, and she fed them. And it's just, we can go on and on about this, but they talk about the showgirls, they talk about this, they talk about that. These are 2 human beings that came from Philadelphia, average people, very smart, and look what they've done to this city. They have changed this city into something that we all can be proud of. And their legacy will continue forever in the United States Conference Mayors. Thank them personally on behalf of the nation's mayors. My president, Mayor Ginther from Columbus, Ohio, we thank you so much. And so I now would like to call on you to present the award. Thank you very much. And we love you.
Thank you. This is unbelievable.
How are you? Las Vegas resident, I'm extremely honored and proud, and I speak on our greater Las Vegas community as well, to give you appropriately the first ever Mayor Sports Legacy Award. And the weight of this equals the weight and the significance, the impact of what you both have done over 25 years of amazing service. We are so grateful. and
Oh,
honored
how
to have
lovely
you. So
this. Oh, yes. Look at this.
This is really nice, and this could hold a lot of gin, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you. Really appreciate it. People forget the kind of pushback that we got when we started to talk about bringing in a professional team. And the first person that we met with gave us some hope, and that was Commissioner Bettman. We went back, and he was the first commissioner that we visited. And he said he thinks that Las Vegas would be a great place for the NHL, but there weren't any expansion teams, and we could wait a little bit longer, but Las Vegas was the kind of city that they were looking for. So I appreciate him for giving us the feeling that we would be welcome, because there was a terrific pushback by many people, because Las Vegas was a town that, amongst other things, had gaming in it, and a lot of the leagues and commissioners felt that that was inappropriate. But we showed them, didn't we? We're the sports capital of the world right now. And I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to throw the hook out, but Carolyn caught the fish, and she brought them in, and it really has changed the whole way we think of ourselves and the way the world thinks of us. So I was thinking about what we're going to name this award. I think the name Oscar has already been taken by the Hollywood folks, but I think this award from now on will be called the Goodman. So I want to thank you, Mr. Commissioner, and all the folks who participated in this ceremony. It really, it's mind-boggling that we are the first recipients, and I thank everybody with the Conference of Mayors for thinking of us. We only think fondly of you.
And I can't tell you how exciting it is. There are very few awards that have been inaugurated for either of us, either than something. He might have won for something that I don't approve of. But Tom Cochran, Rick, and everyone with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, we have learned so much through the shared times we've been together, all the other mayors, and we have made many friends. But the most wonderful thing is what's happened in our city. And when Oscar took office in 1999, that was the Commissioner Bettman, the very first call. But both he and I are sports fans, and there was no way that we were going to pass by putting out full effort to bring Major League sports here. And even with Commissioner David Stern and now Adam Silver, we have not let go. We keep pushing. We want more. We're aggressive people here. Las Vegas is a place to have a wonderful time and have our conventions. And thank you, Tom Cochran, all these years and bringing those two conventions to us. Everybody was amazed. You even competed one year in the Electric Daisy for rooms in the hotels. But everybody that was here for sports, our aces, don't forget our aces, how wonderfully they've been doing. And of course, we keep bothering Don Garber. I mean, we are not stopping. We have the NFR, we have UFC, we can go on, and it's just the beginning for us. I know as we move forward in life and people take over in leadership roles in this community, they will forever stay involved with the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And hopefully those other cities that are going to be on this wonderful list of legacy award in sports, do it and enjoy it. And carpe diem, everybody. This is the time. It's our world, and the future is fabulous ahead of us.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow again talking about, after a riveting ceremony last week in Vegas, sports and economic development intertwined. Let's look at the top 5 issues over the last week or two. Number 1, clearly rivalry week marred at the college football level by a new flag planting tradition that probably not safe for anybody. At Ohio State, the police used pepper spray on students in an effort to defuse the brawl after Michigan players planted the maize and blue M flag at midfield following their upset of the Buckeyes. Florida's road win at Florida State followed. Arizona and Arizona State, the Sun Devil Trident, that was a big deal. Big Ten announced Sunday evening it was fining both of those schools, Ohio State and Michigan, $100,000. But let's remember, there are rules in place in other places, like the SEC put in rules in place that included $100,000 for a school's first offense, $250 for a second, $500 for a third. That includes storming, includes taking the goalposts, and includes flag planting, because it all kind of impacts the same thing. The bottom line is there's no room for this in sports in any context. Number two, a little repetitious, but let's do it again. The Mayor's Annual Sports Legacy Award, a tribute to Oscar and Carolyn Goodman. Oscar, the former criminal defense attorney, served as the mayor of Vegas from 1999 to 2011, becoming known for his flamboyant personality and efforts to revitalize downtown Las Vegas. His tenure included significant urban development projects, the creation of the Smith Center for Performing Arts, the Fremont Street Experience, the diversity of the city beyond gambling, probably even bigger. Under her leadership, Carolyn Goodman has emphasized community development, education, economic diversification, including initiatives to attract technology, and obviously professional sports. U.S. Conference of Mayors, 30,000 or more, established in 1932, representing cities across the U.S. to express and deal with concerns such as urban challenges, advocates for federal policies, and sharing innovative solutions. They do all of that. Honored to be an indirect and direct part of that. Every annual meeting at a location to be rotated, and every winter meeting in Washington. That's number two. Number three, how about Andrew Luck? He accepts the role as the general manager to place him above the entire athletic program at Stanford University. Fundraising efforts in fiscal year 2023, Stanford Athletics had a $33 million shortfall before factoring in $12 million in direct university support on $157 million in expenses. Along with Cal, Stanford is reportedly currently receiving 30% of the typical ACC media revenue as part of the deal to join the ACC. The bottom line is this may be a trend in future schools. A hero coming home, economic diversification. I remember when Andrew did a special with me and the architectural firm HKS walking through Indianapolis, where they designed the facility and he played in it. You could see something special beyond football, destiny for Andrew. And now he's got to clean up college sports. Probably not his total responsibility, but more brains like Andrew Luck in the middle of this certainly can't hurt. As number three. Number four, the NWSL title game had a record viewership on CBS and over 960,000, almost a million, for the prime time Saturday night game, the highest viewed game yet, marking an 18% increase from 2023 and a 6% jump from 2022. The Pride of Orlando face off against the Spirit from Washington. And by the way, the partnership with ABC, ESPN, CBS, and ION averaged about 175,000 viewers. That is a start, but is certainly moving in the right direction. It's number four. Number five, U.S. investors gunning for England's small soccer clubs. The top English Premier League 20 teams, 9 are currently owned by U.S. individuals or entities on a majority basis, but these even struggling Premier League clubs are now costing $500 million or more, and those on the middle or lower end of the English soccer pyramid, attracting more attention from U.S. investors. 11 of the 48 clubs in the leagues 1 and 2, third and fourth tier, have some level of U.S. ownership, and 5 of these clubs occupy the top 9 spots in League One. Remember the example of Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying Wrexham in 2020. He was a member of the 5th-tier National League. After back-to-back promotions, it's one of the top League One sides, and the deal is they will continue to move forward. And that's number 5. Next up, let's look at the 5 to watch coming up. There are a lot of significant things happening, certainly in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, the playoff, the announcements, the conference championships, all of that. We know that. But how about 5 entirely independent issues from that? So number 5, or number 1, is the NFLPA releasing its top 50 players in merchandise sales from March 1 to date. Reported over 85 NFLPA licenses. And let me give you the list in order of who they are, and we're going to watch this as it materializes through Christmas. Everybody's got to buy stuff. Patrick Mahomes, then C.J. Stroud, then Jalen Hurts, then Caleb Williams, then Joe Burrow. Obviously all QBs. Then Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson has some time to recover. Then Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey, time to recover. Then Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons. Then Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, all on the list. Obviously, their own individual superstardom. We'll see where that goes. That's number 1. Number 2, the basketball tournament over the holiday may be one that signals the future for college sports tournaments. The Players Era Festival, a 6-day tournament brought to life by Everwonder Studios and MGM Grand Casino. It's luring the juicy non-conference matchups, but it's also about $9 million in NIL money to the 8 teams participating. And you can't compare it to a normal tournament because the NIL money can't be paid directly to the players, but the tournament is peppering the schedule with chances to earn NIL money, much of it put up by sponsors like Starbucks and Dick's Sporting Goods, and dealing with the ability to play not only in their games that are scheduled, but also do a heck of a lot of promotional work to earn NIL money. The Maui Invitational across it doesn't mean they're competitive. It just means this tournament may be the kind of model we're going to see in the coming years. That's number 2. Number 3, Sky Sports willing to pay double for one of those favorite sports of ours. Yeah, darts. The popularity in recent years, UK pay TV broadcaster Sky is in its final year of its contract, £12 million, $15 million a year, for the contract including 60 days of live darts a year. Sky prepared to double its fee to $25 million, $31 million to retain the rights, but believes greater competition from other broadcasters, says the PDC, the professional organization, could allow it to get closer to $45 million. Netflix, Amazon, some of the other leagues. Where have we seen this before? Where new cable operators are brought into the fold to bid up the rights against traditional carriers. Yep, here it is. That's number 3. Number 4, Paris 2024. Here's a retrospective that's going to impact the future. Female Olympians featured in fewer Paris 2024 Focus News articles, but generated greater social engagement than their male counterparts. Yet, female athletes were covered in just 43% of news coverage versus 57%. Gender imbalance deals with or shown in as far as content. The Olympians in 59% and 58% of federations and brands in stories favored males against the 40% against that compared to female numbers. And Paris 2024 was the first gender equity Olympic Games in history due to the distribution of an equal number of quota placements by the IOC. It's stepping in the right direction, but still got to get current relative to content distribution. That's number 4. Number 5, the ACC looking at a pot of money to generate even more money for the member schools. company Elevate expected to expand conference championship hospitality. The ACC is looking better to monetize and modernize its operations. First, moving from Greensboro to Charlotte. Second, a success initiative, a form of unequal revenue sharing from a pool between 20 and 25 million bucks that can be earned by member institutions based on postseason football and men's basketball success. It's done at the tournament level at the NCAA, and now they're attempting to do it at conferences. We're going to see all the conferences try to strive for additional revenue after and before the House settlement, where they know they've got to pay a limited number or a guaranteed number of dollars to college athletes. We'll see how that all shakes out as everything else, and thank you for listening and watching. We'd like to thank the U.S. Conference of Mayors, Circle, the Oscar and Carolyn Goodman group for helping us put together the Mayor's first annual Sports Legacy Award and making it a resounding success. I'd like to thank you and you guys for listening, Callie Kazire for putting the show together, and also heading into the holidays where we have even more inside information on the $1.3 trillion business of sports. Sports Professor Rick Horrow, speak with you soon.